Jai Hind everyone. My name is Ashish Dixit. I am assistant professor in AKGEC Engineering College, Department Computer Science and Engineering. So today we will discuss about the socket programming and enterprise Java beans. Here we will take two concepts. Socket programming is a different concept and enterprise Java beans is a different concept. Okay. Then what is socket programming? Then socket provides the communication mechanism between two computers using a transmission control protocol. Okay. So main concept. Socket programming is also provide the concept how to communicate one port to another port. Means one system to another system. We can say that, suppose that I am a one person and second is a one person. Both are communicate with each other. Then what's the interface will be used? Then this concept, suppose that we are also use the Hindi and another guys is also use a Hindi. Then both are communicate with each other, but medium is a Hindi because both this language is also understandable two guys. Okay. So I am understand the another person and another person also understand by my language. So this is the examples. A socket programming is also provide the communication mechanism between two computers using a transmission control protocol. A client program create a socket for a communication. First concept. Second concept, server create a socket for communication. When connection made, then communication start, because connection will be create and maintain both side, client and server. Okay. If both connection enables and both connection start, then communication will be start with 2 points, client and server. Then after the connection are established, then communication can occur using input-output stream. Second thing, each socket has both an output stream and an input stream. Always kept in. Each socket has both an output stream and input stream. Then the client's output stream is connected to the server input stream, and the client input stream is connected to the server output stream. Then here TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, is a two-way communication protocol. Hence data can be sent across both stream at the same time. Here Java.NET.server socket class is used by a server application to obtain a port and listen for a client request. Okay. When the server socket invokes accept method, then method does not return until a client connection. Until a client connect, जब तक कि client connect नहीं हो जाता तब तक वो return नहीं करेगा. Second thing, after a client does connect, then server socket create a new socket on an port and return a reference to this new socket. A transmission protocol connection now exists between the client and the server, and a communication can begin. Okay. So here we will use the Java.NET socket class represent the socket that both the client and the server use to communicate with each other. If the client obtain a socket object by the instantiating one, whereas the server obtain a socket object from the return value of the accept method. When the socket constructor returns, then it does not simply instantiate a socket object, but it's actually attempt to connect to the specified server and port. It's another language we can say that Socket object, it's actually attempts to connection between client and server, or a server or a port. Examples. Suppose that client send a message and server receive it. This is the program. This is the server program. Here, import Java IO, input output stream, then again import java.net, then again public class my server, then public static void main string args. Here we will use the try statement, then catch statement. So try state with the server socket access object is equals to new server socket passes 4 times 6, then socket s dot ss dot accept the establishing the connection. Again data input stream dis is equals to new data input stream s dot get input stream method, then string str string this dot read, then system dot println message equals to plus str, then ss is closed, server socket is closed. Then again if the any exception is created, then system dot println and it's handled by the catch statement. Next, this is the server side program. This is the server side program, and next is a client side program. Here import java.io, import java.net, asterisk public class my client, then public static void main string args try. In a try statement, again socket s equals to new socket localhost and 4 times 6. Then data output stream d out is equals to new data output stream s dot get output stream, data out write utf, then hello server, then dot plus use, then dot class, then s dot close. Then here we use the catch statement, exception handling, then system dot out dot println. How to run the socket program? Open two commands. Open two commands. Open two commands window. First one command window, compile and run server program, and second command window, compile and run client program. Then in output, hello server message will be displayed on a server command window. This concept is also mentioned this program. This is the client side program and this is the server side program. And what is the output will be available here through this program. Okay. So examples, client will write first to server, then server will receive and print the text. Client will write first message to the server and server will be received, then how to it will be print. Then server will write to the client and client will receive and print the text. Server program. This is the server program. Okay. Suppose that a client will send the message, will write the message to the server. Then what's the programming will be prepared for a server, because the server is also receive the message. Then import java.net, import java.io, then class my server, public static void main string args, throw exceptions. Then server socket ss is equals to new server socket then socket s equals to ss accept, then data input stream then is equals to new data input stream as dot get input stream method, then data output stream d out is equals to new data output stream as dot get output stream, buffer reader br equals to new buffer reader, new input stream reader system dot in. Then here string str is equals to str2, then while does not str is equals to then stop, if str then is equals to read then utf, then system dot out dot print and then client says str string str2, then read line, then dot write utf statement, then dot flush, then connection close s dot, then close s close and ss close. Okay. This is the client side program. Same concept here. Import java.net, import java io, class my client, public static void main, throws exception, socket equals to s, this is the object, new socket localhost, data input stream, then data output stream d out equals new data output stream, then buffered reader br equals to new buffered reader, then string str equals to str2, then while str does not equals to then stop, then statement read line, then dot write utf, then dot flush, then read utf, then system dot out dot println, then last close d out close and s close. Okay. So these are a concept of the socket programming. So next topic we will discuss about the enterprise Java beans. But first of all, I want to declare that if you have any confusion, then comments in a comments box. Okay, I will directly handle to your queries. Next, enterprise Java beans. First of all, EJB, it's also called EJB. This concept is also called for an industry purpose or an enterprise purpose. First of all, if you want to develop any software or any ERP for an industry, then here enterprise Java beans is also provide to all client help of the all client concept. So here we will discuss about the EJB. Enterprise stand for enterprise Java beans, and it is a server side component architecture for a building, distribute, scalable and transactional application in Java. EJB provide a standardized way of developing reusable, modular and robust component that can be deployed on any compliant enterprise Java bean container. Okay, means suppose that we are given a live examples. If you want to develop any ERP, and ERP is also provide the input and output concept through our server. Then here ERP, SAP, these are also modules that's work like a enterprise Java. So here EJB specifications define three types of component. First, session bean, second, entity beans, and third, message driven. What is a session bean? A session bean are used to implement business logic. A typical represent a single client view of an application. There are two types session beans, stateful and stateless. Next thing is entity beans. Entity beans represent a persistent data in a database and provide an object-oriented view of the data. Here two types of entity beans exist. Container managed persistent, it's also called CMP, and second thing is a bean managed persistence, it's also called BMP. Then again third point is a message driven beans. A message-driven beans is a process of the message asynchronously in a Java messaging services environment. Then how to prepare a class to be a Java beans? Here we will discuss about some concept how to prepare a class to be Java beans. Then first point, provide a default constructor. Then make the class serializable. Then third, provide getter and setter method. Getter means set the input and setter means provide the output. Next thing is use the property naming convention. And next, the use appropriate data types, implement event handling, then implement customization. So here we will discuss about the provide a default constructor. Okay. The class should have a public no argument constructor. This is required for the Java beans. Specification to instantiate the bean using the class dot new instance method. Here we will use the class dot new instance method. Then second point, make the class serializable. Then the class should implement in a serialized interface which is required for the beans to be persisted across different. Use the JVM and to be stored in a file or transmitted over a network. Next thing, provide getter and setter method. The class should provide getter and setter method for each property that you want to expose as the bean property. The getter and setter methods should follow the standard naming convention, just like get property name and set property name and type of the value. Then use the property naming convention. The properties should follow the standard naming convention for the examples of property name. First name should have a getter method, get first name, and setter method name is set first name string first name. Then use the appropriate data types. Here the data type should be follow a proper appropriate data manner. Then properties should use the appropriate data types. For example, a property representing should use the java.util date type. Okay, means maximum file we will import. If they are not provide the appropriate data set, then it's also showing the error concept. Next thing, implement event handling. Then how to handle an event? Then the class can implement the event listener interface and provide method to handle event. Okay. Then implement customization. The class can implement the customization interface to provide additional information about the beans, such as the default value for the properties, custom editor classes, or a customizer classes. This is the program. First, creating a beans. Then, so to create a Java beans, you need to create Java beans class. Add here the Java beans. Then again, public class person bean implement java.io serializable. Here we will providing string name first, string name last. Provide integer. Then public person bean. Then public string get first name. Then return the first name, and again public void set first name string first name. This dot first name is this. Then public string get last name, then return the last name, and again the public void set last name. This last name is this. Then public int get age, then return the age. Then public void set age, then this dot age. This is returned. Then this class has three properties: first name, last name, and age. Here we will apply get and set method. Okay, get and set method. Next, types of beans. So here we will use three types of beans, Java beans architecture: bound beans, constraint beans, and index bean. Bound beans, these are beans that generate events when their properties change. Bound beans are used to provide a notification mechanism for other components that depend on the beans. Means, first of all, these beans provide a property. Through this, we will aware that it will be closed or not. Means it's provide a alert message. Second thing, constraint beans. These are beans that have the restriction on their property values. Constraint beans are used to provide a validation mechanism for other components that use the beans. Means verify and validation method. Index beans. These beans provide an index property allowing accessing to individual element of a collection. Index beans are used to provide a standard way of accessing element in a collection. Here, three main types of the enterprise beans in a Java: stateful session. Then stateful session beans a type of enterprise that beans maintain a conversational state with the client across the multiple method invocation. This conversation state is stored in the beans variable and can be accessed by the client during the entire lifetime of the beans. These beans are useful when the client needs to maintain a stateful conversation with the server, such when implementing a shopping cart like this is the e-commerce website. Then stateless session, if you use the stateless session, then stateless session bean is type of enterprise beans that does not maintain any conversational state with the client. Every method invocation on a stateless session bean is independent of any previous method invocation. The bean instance are created and destroyed by the container as a needed to handle the client request. These beans are useful when the server needs to perform a one-time computation. Then entity beans. An entity beans is also represent a persistent data object that is stored in a database. An entity beans can be thought of as a Java object that map to a row in a database table. These beans provide an abstraction layer between the Java application code and the database, and making it is easier to manipulate and manage the data, and can be used to implement the database operation such as create, update, delete, these types of following operation. Next thing, here it's a very important point, that's the differences between RMI and EJB. Then in RMI we will use the middleware services such as security, transaction management, object pooling, then we done by the Java program. And another side, in EJB, work on a middleware services are provided by the EJB container automatically. Then RMI is not a server side component. It's not required to be deployed on the server. Okay. But another side, EJB is a server side component. It is required to deploy it on the server. And next thing, RMI is built on the top of the socket programming, but EJB technology is built on the top of RMI. So this concept is related to a enterprise Java beans. On a examination point of view, this concept is a very important for a student. If you face any confusion related to enterprise Java beans, okay, then write down the comment in a comment box. Thank you very much.